Hi, boys and girls. You know what today is? Today is Fun Friday with Mrs. E. Fun Friday with Mrs. E. That's me. Well, I've missed seeing you face to face, but I'm so glad that we can still be together on Fridays via the internet, And today I'm going to talk to you about a topic that we've actually studied before, and it's about habitats. And if you remember from earlier in the year, habitats are an animal's home and all the things that are in its home that provide the animal with what it needs, such as like food and water and shelter. You might remember that we played that Oh Deer game where you had to have food and water and shelter. And if your deer didn't have those things, your deer died. I mean, I do remember some of you having dramatic deaths on the carpet because your deer died. Okay. And so today we are going to be using a book called There's a Hole in the Log on the Bottom of the Lake to help us study habitats. And this book's a little bit weird because you might be thinking, some of those things probably don't belong in a hole in a log in the bottom of the lake. But let's see. I think you'll get the hang of this book after I read the first couple pages. Okay. Now, you're probably going to have to sing it with me eventually. You'll get the tune of it. Ready? There's a log on the bottom of the lake. There's a log on the bottom of the lake. And this guy is saying, do you hear voices? There's a log. There's a log. There's a log. There's a log on the bottom of the lake. And apparently there's a turtle with a snail on its back. And it says, it's just a piece of rotten wood. Jeez, snail. There's a hole. Wait. There's a hole in the log. Wait, no. I feel like there's a hole in the log in the bottom of the lake. There's a hole in the log in the bottom of the lake. And the turtle is saying to the snail, a hole what? It just looks empty to me. There's a hole. There's a hole. There's a hole in the log. There's a hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. And the the turtle's talking again. He said, dial 911, turtle on its back, emergency, turtle freaking out. Uh-oh, now look what we have. There's a frog in the hole in the log in the bottom of the lake. There's a frog in the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. Oh, and what are these guys saying here? Let's see. Hey, look, it's the guys. Wait for us. There's a frog. There's a frog. There's a frog in the hole in the log. There's a frog in the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. And this guy right here is saying, please just try to fit in this time. No more snail talk. I mean, they are pretty funny. There's a hair on the frog in the hole in the log in the bottom of the lake. There's a hair on the frog in the hole in the log in the bottom of the lake. I'm not going to read the turtle anymore because he's getting crazy. There's a hair. There's a hair. There's a hair on the frog in the hole in the log. There's a hair on the frog in the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. This book is getting kind of weird, guys. Let's see what else is in this lake habitat down here. We not only have a log with a hole with a frog with a hair on it, but also now we have there's a fly on the hair on the frog in the hole in the log in the bottom of the lake. There's a fly on the hair on the frog in the hole in the log in the bottom of the lake. There's a fly? There's a fly. There's a fly on the hair on the frog in the hole in the log. There's a fly on the hair on the frog in the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. I think that frog looks just about as confused as I do. Could it get worse? Do you think there's going to be something worse than a fly on a hair on a frog? Let's see. There's a gnat on the fly, on the hair, on the frog, in the hole, in the log, on the bottom of the lake. There's a gnat on the fly, on the hair, on the frog, in the hole, in the log, on the bottom of the lake. There's a gnat? There's a gnat. There's a gnat, 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 on the fly, 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 on the hair, 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 on the frog, 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 in the hole, 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 in the log, log, log. There's a gnat on the fly, in the hair, on the frog, on the hole, on the log, on the bottom of the lake. Uh-oh. There's a fish on the bottom of the lake. There's a fish on the bottom of the lake. Sorry. There's a fish near the gnat, on the fly, on the frog, in the hole, on the log, on the bottom of the lake. There's a fish near the gnat, on the fly, on the hair, on the frog, in the hole, on the log, on the bottom of the lake. There's a... Uh-oh. Chomp, snap, go. What do you guys think just happened to the frog with the hair, with the fly, with the gnat? There's a fish on the bottom of the lake. There's a fish on the bottom of the lake. There's a fish, just a fish. There's a fish on the bottom of the lake. Oh my goodness. Do you guys see where the frog and the gnat and the fly went? It looks like the fish has a frog, gnat, and fly shaped, or that shape in its belly, doesn't it? Okay, so that was the end of our book. Now, I picked this one for habitats because this seems like a really weird habitat going on in this book, right? Like, do you think that you're normally going to see, first of all, a frog on the bottom of the lake? I don't know about you, but I have not seen many frogs that live on the bottom of lakes. Usually they're out, hopping on the lily pads, and they're around like pond areas, but they're not at the bottom of a lake. And then a fly and a gnat. I'm pretty sure that they would drown in water. And so this book might not be the best example of what a real habitat is, because their needs are not really met in this book. Like, I guess a frog would have its food because it would have flies, but it wouldn't have its shelter. And also, I think it would probably have too much water because it would be drowning in the water. And also, the gnats and the flies probably don't belong in a pond habitat. They probably belong in like a woodlands habitat or a jungle habitat. And so what we're going to be learning about, I guess virtually until we can meet together, is we're going to be learning about the different habitats that there are and how animals and plants, they can live in certain habitats, but they can't live in other ones. So like the frog can't live underwater in like an underwater ocean or sea habitat, but a frog can live like in a area around a pond, okay, or like in a woodlands habitat. And like a polar bear is not going to live out in the desert habitat. A polar bear, which is the white ones, okay, they're going to live in the Arctic habitat. And so when we have more Fun Fridays with Mrs. E, we are going to learn more about habitats. So I hope that you are having a great break so far, and you're staying safe, and you're being great for your mom and dad. And I hope that you can learn a lot about habitats. Bye.